Welcome to a brand new series here on Johnny Talk Sports. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to do this just for this season or if I'm going to implement it next year or the year after that, etc., etc. But I thought about doing my first mock draft of the season a little bit differently. Instead of going pick by pick in the first round, and honestly, since we're starting this when the NFL playoffs are starting, the whole order is not determined yet. Just the first 20 picks are determined. So I just thought, how about do a draft board for each of these teams on what I think is going to need to be done with each of these teams. So what you see on this board behind me is the Cleveland Browns draft board. And honestly, as much as people don't want to really think I mean this, but I'm really stoked to do the Browns draft board here because they have so many different key elements they need on their team, and they've got two top 4 picks. Now, I kind of diagrammed out what I think they should do with pick number 1 and pick number 4. Because honestly, with new GM John Dorsey, I cannot see him trading either of these high draft picks. Because I know there's going to be some doubts and wonders if they're going to trade one of these picks or maybe trade down, or if they could go from 4 to 3, 4 to 2. Honestly, I just can't see the Browns trading either of these draft picks. Because when you have the ability, or when you're able to get 2 top 5, in this situation, 2 top 4 draft picks, I think you take the opportunity. Like, I don't care what anybody else wants to offer in this situation. The Browns have the opportunity to get a player at number 1 and one at number 4. That's 2 top 4 talents. So I diagram what they would do with what they should do with each one of these. Now with pick number 1, you can see behind, you got a quarterback they can take. They can go with Darnold or Rosen. But then the second part of that, I added in a running back there. In particular, Saquon Barkley. Now, in my opinion, I think either Darnold or Rosen, probably even both of them, are still going to be available by the time it gets to number 4 anyway. So honestly, could they just take Saquon Barkley number 1 and just hope that the Giants, the Colts, don't take Darnold and Rosen back to back? Because honestly, it's a guarantee that either Darnold or Rosen will still be there. Because right now, even if the Giants want to take a quarterback at number 2, I don't think there's any way that the Colts are going to end up taking either Darnold or Rosen at number 3. Because there's so many more needs that the Colts need than a quarterback right now. Because reports are that Andrew Luck might play next year. Andrew Luck hasn't played at all. But that's when we get to the Colts. We'll talk about that more when we get to the Colts draft board. But right now it's just the Cleveland Browns. But yes, they can do either Darnold or Rosen at number 1. Or they can just go all in on Saquon Barkley. Because I think Saquon Barkley is once-in-a-decade type of player. I don't think we're going to see any a type of player like Saquon Barkley, at least until maybe the end of the decade, which is only about 2 years away. So I think they need an opportunity to stash up Saquon Barkley when they can. Because they just take Saquon Barkley. Then at pick number 4, it gets opened up to either taking Rosen or Darnold, because one of them's still going to be there. But let's just assume that they take Sam Darnold or Josh Rosen, pick number 1. So let's eliminate Saquon Barkley out of that picture for the number 1 pick. Then we jump to pick number 4. Because I don't think that the Colts or the Giants or Colts, I don't think they're going to take either one of those. The Giants may end up taking Saquon Barkley, but maybe they might take the other quarterback on who the Browns don't take. We'll talk about that when we get to the Giants one. But with pick number 4, the Browns have some interesting possibilities they can do. They can go with a cornerback. Maybe Minkah Fitzpatrick out of Alabama. They can go offensive tackle because we don't know if Joe Thomas is going to retire. Because I think there was a report that came out and said Joe Thomas was going to think about his future in the NFL. So even if he does stay with Cleveland, they can draft another offensive tackle to complement Joe Thomas. Or they can go wide receiver because we don't know if the Browns are going to keep Josh Gordon next year. And they may want to take a wide receiver, maybe most likely Calvin Ridley out of Alabama or Christian Kirk out of Texas A&M. I think Christian Kirk's draft stock improved with his big performance in the Belk Bowl. So those are some possibilities for the Cleveland Browns with picks 1 and 4. Comment your thoughts down below on what the Browns should do. Also, share this with your fellow Browns fans that you know. I know a couple Browns fans on here. Ryan Smells in particular. Mason Talks in particular. He's got a channel. Go check him out. And I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.